Okay, everyone, thanks for joining us. Just hang on. I know a few of you have been waiting about 5 minutes. Looks like there's a few stragglers coming in here late. Just bear with me just a minute, and we will get started with the chiropractic case study and the practice profit formula. In the meantime, if you don't mind, would a couple of you respond in the chat box up on your top right corner that my audio levels are coming through and that you can hear me fine? Last thing I want to do is start a webinar and find out that no one can hear me. Great. Thanks, Mike. Cindy, loud and clear. Great. James, thanks. Good. Okay. Looks like everybody can hear me, and let's just jump right in and get started. I know your time is valuable, so in the next 45 to 60 minutes we're going to cover a lot of ground here, so bear with me until the end. I know you're tempted to ask questions probably throughout, but the presentation is designed to address most of your questions, but at the end we will have a little question and answer session, so just bear with me to the end, and I think we'll hit on a lot of interesting things today. Let's first talk about today's webinar and who it's for and who it's not for. This is for you if you're looking to add new patients to your practice, and I mean 10 to 20 new appointments, new patient appointments in the next 30 days, and do it month after month. We call it the cure for the empty calendar. We'll show you how to do this using our proprietary tools and our secret Facebook strategy. And I guarantee you, when you hear Facebook, it's nothing like you've ever seen on Facebook, or nothing like you've seen in Facebook marketing. It's not the usual build a page, recruit fans and friends to the page, and then build engagement, and then sit back and hope that your phone rings. That's nothing like what we're going to show you. In fact, most of our clients who are chiros are just simply tired of the stress, the time, and the money that goes into successfully marketing their practice. And they're, quite frankly, they're sick and tired of being peddled every little new marketing gimmick under the sun. They don't want to keep trying to track all the newest techniques and keep track of the greatest technology needed to stay competitive in the chiro market today. And there's certainly, as you know, no shortage of marketing companies trying to sell you the next new shiny object that is sure to bring riches to your practice. They're also tired of trying to figure out social media platforms. Which one should I use? How should I use it? Should I be using it at all? They don't want to stomach yet another call or another email regarding some pitch for Google SEO and getting you on the first page, and then again sitting back and hoping it generates calls to your practice. And they're frustrated at spending their money on marketing that doesn't work at all, that's not measurable and not trackable. What they really want to do is stop worrying about marketing altogether. And that's just what they want is a steady flow, and I'm sure that's the case with you, of new patients into your practice. So that's exactly what we give them in the practice profit formula. What's really interesting is that most of our clients don't even know how we're doing it, and quite frankly, they simply don't care. If what I just described even remotely describes you, then we believe what we're going to show you is something that you'll enjoy, and we look forward to sharing with you here in the next hour. But before I get into specific details of our case study here in a little bit, let's address just a few questions about Facebook. And bear with me. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Facebook. Some of you will think this is kind of remedial, but I'm going to assume that a lot of you have either little or no experience on Facebook, either personally or from a business perspective. And as I said, what we'll do is, after I address some of these issues, we're going to go into the specific chiropractic case study. So let's first jump in and let me just ask a question. True or false, Facebook marketing is one of the best sources of internet traffic today? And you say, duh, sure, of course it is, true. But it warrants more discussion and more looking at the specific statistics. There are 1.4 billion users on Facebook that average 15 hours and 33 minutes each month. And if you break that down, that's the average user spending 30 minutes a day on Facebook. And these are people are accessing Facebook and having these conversations on their mobile devices. 78% of U.S. users access Facebook on their mobile device. This is where people are actively engaged, having conversations with their friends, their family, and other businesses. And I know some of you may be thinking, well, there's 1.4 billion users, but not in my area. And I get it. I understand where you're coming from, and we certainly know that. But hang on, and we'll show you later how we target your patient avatar, your perfect patient, right in your own backyard of your practice. Next, true or false? Most chiropractors who try to get patients using Facebook end up failing. And yes, that is true. The overwhelming majority of Facebook marketing efforts don't produce a positive return on investment. Whether it's attempts to try to target likes and get more fans, or doing offers, or trying to do some advertising on Facebook, most are not happy with the results they're getting. It's not that they're not getting results at all, but they're just not getting the level of results that can really be a game changer in their practice. You shouldn't feel bad one bit if this describes you, because based on our experience, and we've certainly been through it ourselves, after spending thousands and thousands of dollars and kind of cracking the code. We too have experienced that as well. But the practice profit formula is much different. And as I said, we blew through a lot of money just cracking the code. And why did we fail in the past? We'll get more specific about this later, but it's because we were throwing money at fishing in an ocean rather than fishing in a barrel. And in these particular cases, for the ideal patients to drive them in to make calls to our clients' practices. Now we have the ability to make our clients' phone ring on demand with hyper-targeted and responsive patients. So next, true or false, chiropractors who have some level of success on Facebook spend too much time on Facebook. And that again is true. If you think about it, you went to school to be a chiropractor, to help improve the quality of people's lives and to make a great living doing it, rather than being enslaved to spending hours upon hours upon hours trying to figure out how to get new patients into your practice. Many of you, may feel this way, may share this frustration. Chances are, at some point in time along the road, you've tried SEO, you've tried Google PPC, you've tried newspaper ads, billboards, Valpak, Yellow Pages, tweaking your own website. Maybe you've tried Groupons, and trust me, those are all good, and you may be getting results from those. But while they've probably given you some level of success, what you're going to hear right now will blow away all of those methods combined. So now that we're on the same page, I don't want to take up too much time going through the Facebook as but it's nice to have that kind of 10,000 foot view. Some of those statistics you may have never heard before. But let me show you how the practice profit formula literally transforms the way you think about Facebook marketing, and it'll do it in a manner that will change your view forever in terms of Facebook marketing. But before I jump in, one more thought. In all probability, you have engaged in Facebook in some manner in your business, but you just don't have a way to measure the results. And we always kind of laugh here at the office that likes don't equal money. You can have all the likes in the world and as many fans on your Facebook fan page, but they don't really equate to money. So Facebook, in terms of fan pages, the way we see it, it's just a PR program, and it's a good one, by the way. It's something you should be doing. You should be engaging your fans on your fan page, as well as developing that general good solid PR. but in all probability, it's not landing you new patients into your practice. So let's look a little bit more about Facebook and talk about, everyone knows that Facebook went public in May of 2002, and you'll remember all the hype behind it. It was one of the biggest in history. There was great anticipation about what the true earnings were at Facebook. Nothing, if you remember at the time, and when we delve into what Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, when he founded Facebook, he basically is the holy grail is that there's nothing that's going to interfere from a commercial perspective or an advertising perspective with the user's experience at Facebook. And what happened right after the IPO is it didn't really go as planned. And what you saw happen at Facebook in the preceding 6 months after the IPO is a 100% decrease in the stock price. And so, as you know, when you go public and you're answering to shareholders, that doesn't go on long before there are major changes, and those major changes occurred at Facebook. Now, so what you're probably asking yourself, what in the world does this have to do with my practice? And that's a good question, because that led to what we believe is the big game changer at Facebook. And the big game changer at Facebook that occurred has literally transformed a way in which we can, like we said, laser target your ideal patients and drive them to call your practice. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to jump out of here real quick, but let me show you what I'm talking about in terms of a big game changer at Facebook. And so some of you, this is Brian, one of the guys that work for us, you'll see, in Facebook, this is your news feed in here, and you all know that if you're on Facebook. This is the area where people are engaging, having conversations here in this middle section, right in here. That's called the news feed. And you'll see over to the right, similar to what you see when you're on Google, this is all the advertising area where ads can be run. But this newsfeed area is where people are having conversations with their friends and family, etc. And if any of you have noticed, just interesting, has anyone noticed or can take a guess at what has been the big game changer? Give people a few seconds to respond here. What has been the big game changer? You got to keep in mind, Zuckerberg's big on the user experience. I'm not going to allow the user to be injected with commercialization, advertising, etc. So what occurs in here is the conversations of people are having in their news feed with their friends and family and their network. And I have to ask yourself is what would happen is if you could inject yourself, your practice, into that conversation that's occurring in that news feed. It's the equivalent of you being able to play a commercial for your business on a phone call between two friends or between multiple friends. And that is the big revelation that occurred at Facebook, is in response to the stockholder pressure, there were major changes that now allow us to do some targeting, very hyper targeting of people, and place your practice right here in the middle of conversations that people are having. Now, it's very also important, if you remember a minute ago, I talked about 78% of the users are accessing their Facebook accounts on a mobile device, okay? And so what's really important is these ads that run over here on the right that have been around forever, if you get on a mobile device, they don't even appear, okay? So all you see is the news feed. So, it's very, very important, and that's why it's the big change has been such a big game changer, because 78% of the people are accessing on their mobile devices who are now seeing some direct response type advertising in the newsfeed area. So Facebook responds to shareholder pressure, and I'll jump back over here, and they introduce ads in the news feed. And this is just one tidbit of information on an interview on a conference call with Facebook CFO David Ebersman right after the quarter that they reported on their earnings, after they allowed what they call integrated ads, which are the ads that run in the news feed. And you'll see here where he says they are getting that their ad revenue was up because the company is getting a higher fee for integrated ads, which tend to attract more interest from the consumers. So not only is it generating more income for Facebook, but it is also generating more interest from consumers because they're injecting the ads right in the area where the consumers, you and I, are having our conversations in the news feed. And look what happened. Facebook's stock took off because the ad revenue was huge from this. And it's not going away anytime soon because of the success of this. And the stockholders obviously like those types of return. So with that said, let me ask you, at the core of what makes your practice grow, what makes your practice grow in your words? So if you would just put that in the chat box over to the right. Yep. Yeah, you got it, David. New patients. Yeah, I know I covered that, but how? I mean, really, what drives it? What's your number one marketing goal? If I said one thing you could do, what's your number one goal? I think your number one goal, and I think some of you have hit on this. Yeah, David did. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you guys get it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's what we all want in our businesses, and that is make the phone ring. People calling to make appointments in your business. So that's precisely what we'll do for you. And as we plug along here in these 60 minutes, what you're going to learn is how to drive an avalanche of those 10 to 20 new appointments to your practice in 30 days. I know I already said that, but I just want to hit this as we start to delve into the specifics of how we do it. We're going to repeat it month after month while building a hyper-targeted list, and this is important, of new potential patients into your practice. Not only potential patients, but actual calls to your practice, and then have even a larger list to remarket to on a regular basis. And the bonus is that we're going to do this all for you. So let's talk about our promise to you. We're going to show you all of this, and we're going to show you how to get your phone ringing fast. I mean, this isn't something where you do it and you hope that in 4 weeks, 6 weeks down the road you see something from these marketing efforts. This is something when once implemented, your phone rings. In the end, we hope that what we share with you will excite you so much that you'll make an investment to work with you. And quite frankly, and I'll get into this a little bit later, but we're not really in a position where we can work with everyone, and I'll discuss that with you later, but we really are focused on long-term relationships of people who truly understand an investment in their practice, and who have staff trained or are willing to work with staff to train them to handle the volume of calls that we're going to generate. And that's why I have to tell you, that fair warning is that we can't work with everyone, and so I'll discuss those details here at the end. But we do want to be totally transparent. We are going to work with a select group of people, a select group of chiropractors in a select geographical area, and who we believe who are poised in those specific areas to experience exponential growth in their practice beginning in the next 30 to 45 days. And here's the catch: we're only going to work with one chiropractor in each geographical area. So you ask, what is a geographical area? if I could speak correctly. It is your zip code, okay? And we can get into this, a little bit in more detail later. That means if you don't stay with us into the end, the likelihood of you missing a great opportunity will go up, but it won't for your competitors. So hang in there. So let's talk about what is the practice profit formula, and it's a 6-step process. It's where we define and locate your ideal patient. We laser target your specific ideal patient, and then what we do is we develop an irresistible offer with you. We put that in front of them. We then utilize our proprietary software that allows us, it's not really software combined with the targeting mechanism, to make the specific irresistible offer go viral to where they actually share it with their friends. In the practice profit formula, we build in both urgency and scarcity. In other words, we get them to respond quickly to a specific offer, and then with scarcity in terms of limiting the number of the offers so that it invites action quickly. We then, in the practice profit formula, have a 5-part proven email sequence follow-up. And what at the end of all this, what ends up happening is an appointment flow. Calls driven into your, and I mean traceable, trackable calls that come from these specific marketing efforts. So let's talk about how we define and locate your ideal patient. We know that chiropractors' ideal patient are women 35 to 50. They have children. They have medical insurance. Their household incomes are above $75,000. They have neck and back pain issues, maybe headaches. They want to lose weight, and they're in your city. That's basically how I would guarantee you, after working with chiropractors, that is your your patient, what I call avatar. Now, you may say, well, I can't target all those, but actually we can. Some of those, obviously you can target, but when you get down to these specific things and some of the interest that these target women have, we can really hone down not only geographically but on their interest, as well as target people who have medical insurance. So all of those are things that people value. We can identify their common interest, whether that's they like massage, yoga, organic foods, they're weight loss buyers, or holistic medicine people that like holistic medicine. We can basically define and locate those ideal patients using our hyper-targeting ability. Hold on just a second. Let me grab a quick drink of water. So if you would, someone just give me a example of the type of people you'd like to attract into your practice. Type it into the right hand. Yep. Okay, so Scott says women who live in Scottsdale and like chiropractors. Well, we can, we can do that. We can target only those people. Some people. Here's another one, Gene from Springfield, Missouri. All right. I want to target 25 to 50 people who are kind of the organic food types. Yes, you can do that. So not only can we do that, but we can combine all of these types of interest with demographic information, or if, for instance, if you have weight loss offers, or if you're targeting people for just spine pain, all of that we can do. So it's really amazing data in Facebook like you've never seen, and it's something that really in the next few years, the Facebook platform has the ability to really make a difference in your practices. Then next, what we do, as we mentioned, is we develop an irresistible offer. And so here's an example of one, and this is the case study that we're going to show you today, is an ad. Now this ad was for a free 60-minute massage. It was ran in Peoria, Glendale, and Sun City, Arizona. So that was the irresistible offer. Keep in mind, you have to be willing, as I said, you have to be dedicated to spending some money in your practice, not only with us, but, and as more importantly, in developing the systems and training your staff and providing a high-value, irresistible offer. Because once you get the person into your clinic, then you're going to determine what his or her needs are from a chiropractic standpoint, or if you're running a multidisciplinary approach, you're going to know what their needs and desires and wants are. If you're willing to do this, I think you'll really like this. But in particular, this is just a free massage offer that we ran. Okay, and what it does is it drives the person to a landing page. But what we do, not only do we develop the irresistible offer, but we have a way to make that offer go viral. So let me just show you how we do that. As I told you, the news feed earlier, okay, that area on Facebook, this area in here again, the Facebook. We want to inject your ad, your offer, your irresistible offer onto the news feed of people's Facebook accounts. And so we do that. Now, when we do that, what happens and how this becomes a viral offer is really the secret sauce. But before I get to the viral sharing kind of secret sauce, let's talk first about, let me ask you this question. What's the best source of new patients in your practice? The best source. If somebody walks in your door, they came to your practice by, how did they get there? Okay? Sam, website, yeah? That's one solid way. What's the number one, though? Newspaper advertising. Interesting. No, not yet. Carol's got it. A patient referral. Yes, you got it. Here is a Nielsen Global Trust and Advertising Survey. The number one thing that people trust in terms of advertising is a recommendation from people they know. 92% trust completely or somewhat a recommendation from someone they know. It's been around for years. The referral is the absolute best source because they tend to attract, number one, the people who you want to attract into your practice, but number two, the best type of patients in terms of mirroring the services that you provide because they come from someone else who's already an existing patient. No question about it. Let me ask you this. If on average the number of Facebook users that the number of Facebook fans that a particular user has on average is about 310 to 330 is the most recent statistics. Okay, so the average person has just over 300 fans on their friends on their Facebook. So when we think about that, it's really cool if you can think about, well, what would it be like if I could actually force people to recommend my offer or my practice to their friends on Facebook? So that's exactly what the viral sharing component of the practice profit formula does. Here is just an example of the ad we ran. Again, this was for Centerpoint Physical Medicine. Again, this is just a screenshot so I can run through this, but this is the news feed, the center part of the Facebook ad. And when the person clicks on this, you'll see we say click image for a free massage conveniently located off the 101. Okay, so that's the call to action. When they click here, they're taken to an offer page. Now, you'll see that there is actually, because this offer is not running right now, but there is actually a countdown timer. Again, this is the part of the urgency part of the offer that we do. So there's a timer ticking down for them to take advantage of this offer. In particular, on this case, our client was offering a free wellness exam. A free wellness exam, adjustment, and 60-minute massage for $199 value. Now, I know from others that I've talked to about this, some of you have, the ethical rules in your particular states will allow you to make certain offers and not certain offers, but this was fine in these particular circumstances. Then what we do is we basically put together a commercial for the offer. And so bear with me just a second, and I will show you just an example of the commercial that we run. So when somebody clicks here, and before I jump into that commercial, someone clicks here and they're invited down to hit the connect using Facebook button. Okay? Now, if they don't hit the connect using Facebook button, actually they'll hit that button, and when they do, they're going to be asked to share. Again, this is the viral sharing part, to share this gift with their friends because it's gone. Okay, can anyone guess what happens if they hit share? Naturally, they share it with all their network, their friends on Facebook. But if they hit cancel here, they get this page. We're sorry, you must enable the Facebook permissions to claim your free massage offer. Try again, and then it reiterates the offer. Okay? So as you can see, we've basically, it's what we call the ethical bribe, where in order to take advantage of this offer, they have to share it. And we're driving people with our own advertising programs to this offer. But aside from that, in order for them to claim it, they have to share it. So we call it the ethical bribe. You share offer with us, and then we're going to give you this great deal. Now, as I mentioned a second ago, let's look at the offer itself and the offer page. So when they actually hit the share button, instead of hitting cancel, they hit the share button, then they're driven back, and they're informed that the redemption, and it says call the number below to book your free massage package. Okay, and you'll see they're given a massage or a redemption code. Use code. Sorry about that. Use code. Getting a little ahead of myself. Use code FB massage. Okay, and it tells them the number to call. So let's take a quick break here, and I'll jump over and show you the commercial, what I call a commercial that we develop. Let me just... Okay, so I have this keyed up. Now take a look at this. I'm going to just let this roll. It's a minute commercial, professionally recorded by a voiceover. So here's the general offer that we ran with this particular client that's part of our case study.
Suffer from aches and pains, or simply appreciate and enjoy therapeutic massage? You'll want to grab this great deal. Dr. Chad Faulkner and nurse practitioner Stephanie Faulkner of Centerpoint Physical Medicine are offering a free 60-minute massage, exam, and adjustment to Peoria, Glendale, and Sun City area residents. Only a limited number are available, so you'll want to grab this deal now. Just click on the Connect Using Facebook button below and let a licensed therapist at Centerpoint Physical Medicine give you a free, relaxing, and rejuvenating 60-minute massage. You'll also get a free exam and adjustment. Click the button below to grab this great deal. You'll be glad you did. The Centerpoint Physical Medicine team is conveniently located at 9420 West Bell Road, just 1 mile off the 101. Click the Connect Using Facebook button to claim this wonderful massage experience. Centerpoint Physical Medicine, where we're at the center of your physical health.
Okay, so that gives you a good idea of the the commercial or the offer that we run. Now, remember that will appear on this page where there's a countdown timer. It will just play right here in this box. I just expanded it into a larger view so that you could see it. And then they're invited, as it was in the video, to hit the connect using Facebook button below. Okay, so that's what they do. Back to where we were, which is they're told that their offer is redeemed. Now, what goes on here behind the scenes is much in more depth. You'll notice that they are told, number one, here's the code. They've been told on the video itself there's a limited number. They're given the phone number, and then they're given a disclaimer that you must call within the within 96 hours from now to claim your massage. Okay, and after that it's invalid. Okay, so we're building urgency, and then we also have scarcity in terms of the number of these that are going to be available, and it's real. There is the scarcity, and this isn't contrived or anything. There is scarcity to when they claim their specific offer. Now, so that's the viral sharing component of it. I already covered the building in an urgency and scarcity. Again, it's only available for 96 hours, and it's limited to the first 25 people. In that case, I don't think we had a specific number, but we have tested it since then, which helps tying a specific number to it. Now, as I mentioned, what goes on behind the scenes after that, and this is really, really, really important, and you're going to see this play out here in a little bit. But what's very important is the 5-part email sequence follow-up. Now, you'll remember, did you notice no one ever put in their email, but when they joined using Facebook, they've given permission to use their email. When they do that, their Facebook account is tied to the email that they registered their Facebook account to, okay? And so part of that permissions, which is universal at Facebook, if you hit that button, it's dumped into our 5-part email sequence follow-up. And then what we did is we developed a 5-part sequence to follow up over the next 96 hours, reinforcing that they have to call in the first 96 hours, and also that they have to not only call, but that there's limited number apply. So you'll see they first get their first email, then we give them a reminder the following day, and we give them a reminder each day, basically up to, hey, there's 4 hours left. And we have a great new feature we're going to add, which will allow us to do also allow us to add some other components in the future, which is follow-up text messaging as well as voice broadcasting, just to remind people, hey, call to make your appointment, you only have X hours left. So it again reinforces the offer, reinforces the urgency, and also the scarcity of the offer. So here's just an example of one of the email follows up. It just basically says, hey, this is Dr. Faulkner here. You'll see at the very beginning it says you're now eligible to take advantage of your free wellness package. Tells them what's included in the offer. Again, in red here we say, hey, you need to book within the next 96 hours. Give them a specific redemption code, and we tell them again to call. So that's just the first email, but there's 5 emails that follow up in that 96-hour point follow-up sequence. And then what we do next is that email sequence is designed for 3 specific purposes: to reinforce and instruct them how to take advantage of the offer, to remind them that they must respond in the first 24 hours. I'm sorry, not that they have to respond in the first 24 hours, but you'll see that most respond in the first 24 hours and the last 24 hours. Now you might say, well, how in the world do you know that? Okay, and we're going to show you some of our ability to track the calls. And you ask yourself, well, why is that? And that's because of the constant messaging and the urgency of the offer that we've just went over with you. And then the cool thing is we've built an ongoing list of marketing for you to market your services to. So that, these people will dump right into a list that we will provide you so that you can, whatever method you follow up with people, that you can market your practice to them on an ongoing basis. And then what you get from that in the practice profit formula, that step, very methodical, tested and proven formula, is appointment flow. So let's just jump right in and let's kind of talk about the specifics of what happens. Because at the end of the day, what you want, as we talked about earlier, is phone calls to your practice. You don't really care about how you get those people. If we had to run ads, working and slaving, in all your marketing efforts. But at the end of the day, what you want is people calling and saying, hey, I want to make an appointment. So let's jump over and take a look at our call tracking software. And this is really nice because you will actually you'll have a platform where you'll be able to log into this system yourself. It's wonderful for training your staff. You'll be shocked and amazed sometimes, as you'll see here, they were in this particular circumstances. Sometimes how either your staff is not really as good on the phones as you think, or maybe the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing in terms of advertising. In these particular circumstances, everyone was trained, but you'll see here that what was glaring is that the calls were not handled initially correctly. But this is just an example. If you jump in, this is over the period of time where we were doing the campaigns, but we generated 45 calls. This is over, and the ads went on and off during periods of time, but 45 calls. Now, there was a lot more calls here, I will add, but these are all calls in excess of 45 seconds. We can run our reports up here to just be calls in excess of 45 seconds because we know that's the valid calls where people are actually calling for an appointment. So let me just show you how some of the messaging in some of these ads. Let me play these for you and just listen to what people are saying, and you can get a flavor. For HIPAA reasons, I'm not going to play their names and everything, but just listen to what kind of people are saying that kind of reinforces, and you'll hear common themes that are in part of the offers and the follow-up sequence.
Yeah, I was calling. I was on Facebook and saw your advertisement for the initial visit and massage. And I had the little redemption code there for it. So I was going to see if I can make an appointment.
Yep. Well, which code do you have, honey? Which redemption on Facebook? Because there's several promos going.
Oh, okay. The massage 114.
So what's the code? What's it actually say? Free massage? What does it say, hon?
I took a picture of it on my phone. It was...
So I'm just going to stop that right there. But remember, she's been given a code, so she's calling with her code. Unfortunately, the staff, despite being trained on this, didn't have a clue. So the great thing is you'll have the ability to log into here, listen to these recordings that your staff are handling, and then you'll be able to actually take that voicemail, for instance, if you wanted to email that staff person and say, hey, here's this call. And by the way, on the front end of these calls, there's what's called a call whisper that says that the call is being recorded for quality assurances, etc. So that's in the full, legal disclaimers of recording the call. And then when it comes into your office, so that your staff knows that it's coming from a marketing effort, actually it will say, when your staff answers the phone, it will say another lead generated by Dominate Media, so that you know that it's in response to an offer. And in these particular circumstances, the lady has the offer code, but it's just like it was pulling teeth to just say, okay, let's get you started. They didn't even know what the specific offer was. So it was a chance for our client to reach back and train his staff. Let's just listen to another one here.
Centerpoint Physical Medicine, Lisa speaking. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm calling about the free golfers massage and checkup. I actually booked one online, and I was calling, agreed to it online. I was calling to book an appointment.
Okay, let me see what I have available. Are you looking to get in this week, honey?
If I can, yeah.
Let me see what I've got. And that was a massage and what else? Because I don't have that package in front of me. I'm sorry.
So again, just another opportunity to identify once they got the kinks worked out. But both of these were appointments for people who responded. Let me I just picking out a couple calls. There's naturally, as you see here, there's just call after call after call. For this particular offer, there's other time frames where we were doing other campaigns. But you'll see, you can go through and listen. You see the call links recorded here, where they called in from. So what you'll notice in some of these calls is, number one, the opportunity to discuss with staff members some of the shortcomings in terms of how they handle the calls. But I thought this was another, and you'll hear these common themes. This is just an example of how the follow-up sequence is really effective. Here's another call.
Hello, you've reached the office of Centerpoint Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation.
So I'm going to jump forward here because this is just
voicemail. Probably stepped away of the week.
But listen to what she leaves on the answering machine.
Your call is very important to us, and we will get right back with you. Thanks, and have a great day.
Hi, my name is Rachel Bellinger. I got a free offer for a wellness exam, adjustment, and 60-minute massage off of Facebook. It said that it was still good for I had to call in for another 24 hours, but my phone number is 602-909-3826.
So you can see there that she's leaving a message on the voicemail after hours, and she's referencing that she's only got 24 hours left to redeem her offer. So again, that's the follow-up sequence and the effectiveness of that sequence. So let's look specifically at the 6-week results, and as you can see, there's different time frames there, but in terms of the case study over the entire time frame, we were only looking at a subset. But over the 6 weeks that we analyzed, 57 people grabbed the offer. There were 42 calls and appointments. So 57 people grabbed it, and 42 people actually called to redeem the offer. And that's an average of, over that 6-week time period, 7 appointments per week. So that gives you an idea of the success in terms of the case study that we conducted for this specific offer. So, most chiropractors will tell me, and what we're offering today is to work, as I indicated, with a select few. And in fact, we're only going to work with 10 chiropractors at a time, and it's geo-specific. In other words, we're not going to be working with another chiropractor across town helping them with the same thing. This is, again, exclusive to your zip code and your practice. No one else is going to be able to use these proprietary methodologies of the practice profit formula. The fee for doing so is $1,750 per month, and again, that's for the exclusive market area. And most chiropractors tell me that the average lifetime value of a patient is $5,000 to $7,000. So if you convert one of those 7 into reoccurring patients, which we've actually, if your staff's trained right, you're going to be knocking it out of the ballpark a lot better than that. But you get 4 new clients a month, and if you do the math, that's a valuable service to you. I'm not suggesting that you would just get 4 a month, because the numbers turn out to be much better than that. And that's like I said, you have to be willing to put in the effort behind. We can lead them to the trough, but we can't make them drink. We can get them in there, but your practice, your people have to do their job in terms of providing the services and identifying their needs and getting them back to your practice. So let me just go over what exactly the practice profit formula includes. Again, we're going to do the market research in your specific area. We're going to build a hyper-targeted patient list. We're going to manage and optimize an ongoing advertising campaign for your practice. We're going to work with you to develop the offer, an irresistible offer for your practice that helps us to drive the calls in your practice. We're going to, again, put an ethical bribe in front of people on Facebook that basically, it looks like I'm cutting off down here at the bottom. That says sharing at the bottom. I apologize for that, but it's going to put together put in front of them an ethical bribe that forces them to share the offer with their friends on Facebook. We're going to build for you 3 landing pages. The 3 landing pages I showed you earlier, where they land, they see the timer with the offer. The landing page where they're kicked to if they don't agree to connect using Facebook, and of course the landing page when they do connect, and the redemption landing page that says you're redeemed, call this number now, here's your offer code. So we're going to build those 3 landing pages. We're going to create and manage the practice profit formula email follow-up sequence that I showed you earlier, and it's going to be tailored to your practice. And then we're going to manage and create the call tracking and give you free access to the call tracking software platform, and we'll give you a username and password, and you just jump in on anytime you want to listen to the calls. So you'll know for certain the calls that we're generating to your practice, and it's a great way for you to analyze your staff and what they're doing. We will also do the call whispers, the call recording for the call whispers that will identify, number 1, to the caller that the call is being recorded, and number 2, to your staff that it's a new call generated by the practice profit formula efforts. So that's just a general outline of the practice profit formula, the success of looking at the case study from the Centerpoint Physical Medicine. The next step for those of you who want to jump in and do this and really put this to work in your practice. Before I jump into that, let me just ask you, anyone have any specific questions? All right, let's see. Yeah, good question, Sam. So along the lines of geographical area, again, Sam asked, what geographical area does that include? That will include your zip code, and we can talk about this more specifically in our consultation. But it could. That doesn't mean that we will only be targeting people in your zip code, but you will have exclusivity in your zip code, so you don't have to worry about some competitor down the street using the same methodologies that you are. So you're going to have the exclusive use to this. Rachel asks, what is the contractual commitment? This is the good thing. There is no contractual commitment. The only thing is you pay us month to month, so you're on the hook for 1 month. As we said, we're into results. We're into positive return on your investment. So we don't perform, you cancel. So there is no yearly commitment from you. If we produce, you'll stay on board, and trust me, you'll stay on board because you'll love the results. So does that answer that question, Rachel? All right, great. All right. All right, let's see. Any other questions that anyone can think of? How do we get started, or how do I get started? All right, well, let's just jump into that. That's kind of my next area. Any other questions kind of before I move on? Okay. Yeah, so the next steps would be, like I said, we're only going to work with 10 chiropractors at a time. And the reason why is because this is a significant undertaking from a labor standpoint. Requires us to dedicate significant resources to get these campaigns off the ground. So we're only going to work with 10 at a time. We're only going to work, as I indicated, with one practice in each geographical area, that being your zip code. What you'll do here next is you'll pay a $49 refundable deposit. Now, the reason why we do this is we've done this different ways before, and this is the way it works out best. Is if it's for some reason during your setup call you decide, hey, this isn't for me, and we'll refund your money. But this is to prevent kind of the tire kickers, the people who are just calling to kind of steal information and give information about Facebook and what we do. So this narrows it down to people who are really serious, or at least have an initial interest and are willing to put some money down to reserve a spot so that we can have a really productive talk, and that will be applied to your first month's balance. And then next you'll want to click on the button below and fill out an application. Like I said at the beginning, folks, we're not going to work with just anybody and everybody, and there always is people who do apply that we'll just tell you outright, look, we're just not a good fit for you, and that can be a number of reasons, that based upon your application or based upon our initial consultation. So I just say that in the interest of transparency. I mean, the last thing we want to do is start something where we can't deliver for you, or conversely, we're interested in long-term relationships. So if we don't think that you have the resources, or that you yourself is committed to making an investment on an ongoing basis to your practice, with your staff, with processes, etc., or that you have the ability to convert these patients when they come in the door. Because we know if we're convinced, we can drive 20, 30 calls to your practice in 30 days, but quite frankly, if you don't have the ability to book the appointments, get them in, and they come and show up, and you don't have the ability to transition them into number one, identifying what their needs are, number two, to basically transfer them into your other services, we know that it's not going to be a good fit for you or us. So we would rather just have that discussion at the beginning. So just like I said, click pay your $49 refundable deposit, click on the button below, and then that'll take you to a application page. Fill out that short application, and we will be in touch with you soon. So hey, trust me, it's a $49 refundable deposit, so there's no risk here, okay? You're going to get your deposit back, but don't call us. This is the way we have it set up, the best way for us to set these up in an efficient way and to be dealing with people who are serious and not tire kickers. So just click below and get started, and we look forward to the opportunity to working with you, and have a wonderful day. Take care.